Do you want to have my evening cup of tea with me and talk about companionship? You do? Fucking sick. I knew I liked you. It's been like a day. Do you know what I mean? And when I say that, I also really mean it's been like a week. But especially yesterday and today, they were just like such shitty days. Like I told my one friend, it's a bad day for the nog. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say. Bad day up here in the nog. And as I'm sipping on my tea tonight, I was like reflecting on how I handled both shitty days. And I don't think there's like a right or wrong one, but there's definitely one that made me feel a lot better. I don't know what it is about this nog that I've got, but I'm like such a catastrophizer. And I really have a hard time like letting go of an emotion. Actually, that's not true. Quick to let joy go sometimes, to be so for real with you. But when I have like a sad or negative emotion, I'm one to like really cling on to it and a lot of times like really wallow in it. And I say there's no right or wrong answer because, to be honest with you, like sometimes I do think you just need to like sit and wallow in your emotions. But yesterday for me, I think I was ready to move on. Do you know what I mean? But I kind of like sat with it and I sent myself to bed so early because I knew that I was in a shitty mood and I just didn't want to like try to make myself feel better. And I woke up feeling well rested, but I still felt kind of off. Like I still was having a bad time in the nog. And so today I thought it would be better. I had therapy today, so I was like, this will be good. And then to be honest, it was just like a rougher therapy session than I had anticipated, which as a side note is so annoying. Like I feel like I can normally anticipate the amount of wrecked I'll be post therapy session. And I hate when I get it wrong. Sometimes I get it wrong and it's like fucking sick. Like I get out of there skipping. Not today. But anyway, I got out of the therapy session and normally when I have a bad therapy session, again, I'm a wallower. I usually like stay in my car for hours or I'll text my roommate like, hey, don't talk to me. I'm going right to my room. And she knows the deal. She knows the deal. But today I texted her and I was like, hey, I had a really rough session, but I do want to come inside and I want to like just have your company and maybe we can talk about it a little bit. But if anything, like I just really don't want to be alone. And again, I talked about this a bunch. Like my roommate, I've known her since I was 4. So like she knows the deal, okay? She's quite familiar with the nog. And so I came in and she was like, I have just the solution. The new Muppets special on Disney Plus. And she was so right. We watched it. It was an absolute delight. But we also talked about our week and we also unpacked my therapy session and we did our shareables, which is when we sit side by side and show each other TikToks we recently found funny, but not the ones we would send to each other. You know what I mean? Like ones that we just individually found funny, but we weren't sure if the other would find equally as funny. So we saved them for our shareable session. And here I am now. And I feel so much better. And I think a lot of times and I mean, maybe this is just a me thing. I think that like when I'm feeling down and sad, I want to be alone. Like it just feels like I'm in all these ugly emotions. I don't want others to see it. I don't want to burden other people with it. And it just would be better for me if I was alone. And like 9 times out of 10, it's just not the case for me, babes. Like when I surround myself with people, whether I talk about it or whether I am just in the company of someone I love, I feel so much better. And so this is for me to also tell you, you're not a burden to people when you reach out to them when you're struggling. When I have someone I love who reaches out to me when they're struggling, my first thought is always, I'm so glad they came to me. I'm so glad I'm someone they thought of when they were going through this hard time. I actually feel like I saw something really great on TikTok once about this, where it was like, you're not bringing your problem to me and then loading it on me. You're bringing your problem to me so we can look at it together. So I think that's all I really wanted to touch on. Just like, one, shitty days do end. Sometimes they're shitty for a really long time. Really, really long time. But then sometimes you wake up the next day and it gets slightly less shitty and it just gets slightly less shitty like every single day moving forward. And then it gets shitty again. I mean, like, one of the greatest things about life is that like nothing lasts. You know what I mean? But that also, the people in your life want to be there for you. They want to help you through the hard times. And I think it's just like every single time I go to my friend when I'm struggling, it lets that friend know that they can come to me when they're struggling. Like that's the clear message that you give every time you reach out for community when you're in need. I think that's pretty fucking sick. So here's to waking up tomorrow morning and hoping the day is just a little bit less shitty. I think it will be.